Hi, everyone. Today, I want to present my final project, which is a iOS app called BrawlSmart that provides information for a game called Brawl Star, which is a popular mobile game. And in this game, what you can do is that you can acquire different characters or brawlers, and then be able to play each of them and level up as you go. And each of these unique characters have different special abilities or different attack modes, if you will. And by playing that, it's pretty fun, and you can kind of see which character counter which one. So it's pretty interesting. And then this app, BrawlSmart, is providing information on this game in general. And so if you look at this app, the first thing that you can see is that you're in this tab on the left called Brawlers. And here you have different brawlers down here. And one thing to note is that in this tab bar, you can see that this icon is customized. It's not a system icon. And I intentionally want to do that because this makes it obvious that you're on the Brawler tab because it has a Brawler icon. And then, as I said, there are different brawlers down here. You can scroll. There are, I think, 40 something brawlers. And let's say I'm interested in one of the character. I can click on it. You can see that there's an image that's bigger than in this view. And there's also some additional information, such as description, some other labels. And then if you scroll down, these are the information that's unique that you can't see from outside. And this is the special ability, if you will, of each character. I was also able to come up or be able to put together images by pulling from this API, and then be able to put this here to make it more vivid and more interesting. And these are the same for all the characters. And all these data are actually pulled down from an API that I will showcase later on. So let's say we want to navigate to the other bar. The first thing you'll notice is that there's this huge image view that you can see. There's a text box that you can enter information. There's search button, as well as another button that is disabled. So if I click on this, it doesn't work because currently it's being disabled. And let's say I want to search without putting anything in the text box. You'll see that it populates a user not found error because this thing doesn't give you a correct result. And let's say I want to type in a username. So my username, so if I hit search, it will go to my user profile with the latest data being pulled down from the API. And then there's a profile image, name, my tag, and then some stats, right? And one thing you notice is that there's also this button on the right-hand side of the navigation bar. And if I clicked on this, this means that I'm saving this profile as my stats. And you can see that the icon turns into a cross sign rather than a check mark. And if I click on this again, this means that I unsave myself. And now it's into another state, which is, if I click on this, it's going to save again. And then when we click on this, you can also see that there's this toast message that pops up and then disappear in a couple seconds. And I'll also explain how that works later on, going into the implementation detail. And let's say I save my account and I go back to my page. You can see that this go to my stats button lights up. So now notice that I don't have anything in my text box. If I click on this, it will populate my ID that's saved somewhere in the device, in the application. And then now I can directly navigate to my profile without having to type in my complex user tag every time I want to search my stats. Next, I want to go into the implementation detail. And First, notice that all these data, and this one, even the profile, these are pulling from two different API. The first one is the Brawler data pulling from this open source API. And then I'm using this Brawler endpoint. So if I click on this, you can see that there's this long list of JSON data that I was parsing using the default codable protocol and other different protocols that iOS supports. In addition, for the user data, I'm using the official BrawlSmart API, and they provide an endpoint which is /player/player tag. So player tag in this case is the user ID that we type in. So if we were to populate the same user ID, you can see that these are the response body. And then I was able to parse these data into my app. And so they're being presented in my app. Next, I want to talk about a toast message, which is this toast message. If I click on this button, it would pop up this toast message that would disappear. So that would be in the player detail view. In this case, I was able to utilize some open source resource, such as a video, to be able to come up with this implementation. And this method takes in a message, a string, and a color as the background color. And then here I create a UI label, and then some configuration based on the parameter. Then finally, I add that to the sub view. And finally, I have this animation where it fades out. And then at the end, when it's completed, I will remove that from the super view, which is what you see when this thing expires. It's gone from the super view, you can't see it. And finally, how this thing works is by using something called user defaults, which is the same equivalent thing to Android's shared preference. So let's navigate to player search view controller. You can see that I have this variable called user defaults being initialized. And then I have that initialized down here. And then if you're interested, you can also option click on this. And you can see that the brief summary saying that this is an interface that store key value pairs for easy access across launches of your app, meaning that this data is being persisted so that you don't have to recreate it, even though you have multiple sessions and you closed on the app. And once you open it up, it will still be there. And how I was able to implement this is by using the user default. And how you get the value is by saying defaults.value, as you can see here, for key, and that's the key that I'm using. So that would populate the ID into the text box. And then on the other hand, if you want to save it, that would be when I click on this button. And then saving it means that it's defaults.set and the value, comma, the key. And then if you want to delete the key value pair, you would be saying .remove object for key. And yeah, these are really straightforward, but these are really critical in making this feature successful so that you can save that. And then later on, you can also look at it without having to type it again. So yeah, that's about it for my final project. And I think there are definitely more improvement to be made, such as being able to fetch some more data about the battle history of a player and then display that here or in the next view controller in the form of a table view. And that would be really interesting. And definitely some more details can be made, such as adding videos, stuff like that. But yeah, that's about it. And I hope you guys like this app, and I hope you guys like my final project. Thank you.